Welcome back to Rev It Up Bowling. My name is Jason Robarge, and today we got a new ball review. What we're gonna do today is reviewing the brand new Ebonite The One Ovation. Now, we were all very familiar with the One bowling balls. They've been a staple in the Ebonite line for many, many years. Definitely their high-end performance type bowling ball. This is the Hybrid. Now, this does have HK22C wrapped with the 15.1 GB Hybrid Coverstock. So, what I'm expecting out of this one, especially compared to the Reverb, is probably a little bit more mid-lane, but still has that traditional strong back end that everyone knows with the One bowling balls. I'm gonna be comparing it, a little bit different type of ball review today, to the Brunswick Combat. Now, the Brunswick Combat, I haven't done a video on, ran out of some time and whatnot, but I did drill this bowling ball to complement that one. So I wanted to be able to throw both of them just to give you guys a little bit extra information to see if you want to buy the Combat, want to get this one, where do they fit in your bag. That way it gives you a little bit more, like I said, of that information to make better purchase things. So we're gonna go ahead, bowl on our traditional house shot. This is a higher volume house shot, allows me to throw big old bowling balls like this all over the lane to give you guys an idea on what this ball might do for your particular game. I can get in and wheel it, but not everyone does that. So we're gonna be playing around first, second, third, fourth, moving across the lane, and then doing some comparisons to that Combat. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, I warmed up a little bit already, so we're gonna go ahead and go up first arrow. If I had to guess, it's probably gonna be too much ball, but I have been surprised in the past. This does come out of factory with a little bit of a compound on it, so I'm imagining it's just gonna take off, so we'll see. Oh, and I pulled it big time. Yeah, it definitely hooked. Yeah, when you miss your arrow, it's gonna hook a little bit. All right, we're gonna go ahead and try it just one more time. Try to go up the boards a little bit more. All right, up 5. That's better, and it did the same thing. Cool, just wanna make sure. The Ones won. These bowling balls have been around forever. I remember watching Tommy Jones throw it, and that's what got me. Tommy was my boy back in the day when I was a kid. That guy was amazing, also has the same hairline. So, you know, I was born to be him. Just a battered, worser version. But watching him throw that ball, man, you talk about a bowling ball that was ahead of its time, and Ebonite has done the same thing they've always done and keeps pushing the level with these types of bowling balls. Especially with HK22C, I'm imagining this is definitely gonna be a high volume type of bowling ball. All right. Do it right. Not too bad, not too bad. Definitely seeing a little bit of a mid lane, which is fine. To be expected, these bowling balls have a huge intermediate diff. It's gonna see more of that lane with more fresh cover stock, making it either wanting to transition, it's gonna burn some energy, typically create a smoother type roll meant for heavier volumes, typically. So, wrapped in a hybrid cover stock, I would imagine this one should be pretty mid-laney, but when the heads get blown up a little bit on higher volumes, maybe a high friction house, I could see this be pretty good just because it's gonna get through those mids pretty well. All right, third arrow. All right, not too bad, not too bad. Got it in a little bit, but not bad. So I'm definitely seeing a ball that's seeing the lane the whole time. It's flaring quite a bit. You can see that it wants to slow down some, but with the surface that's on it and the hybrid cover stock, it is providing some length, but my ball is flaring about that much, at least. So definitely a high flaring type of bowling ball. We're just gonna move over just a little bit more, give ourselves some away. Not too bad. Typical Asym type roll. Remember, Asyms like to traditionally roll quite forward. Now, when you get to a lower intermediate diff, which is the definition of an Asym typically, they like to continue a little bit more. This one has a big old intermediate diff, meaning it's gonna wanna roll a little bit more forward than some other bowling balls that would have that smaller intermediate diff. I like bowling balls like this just because with my rev rate, I can hold the pocket up. My ball is not gonna come off the spot and just keep going left like symmetrics can. So asymmetric for that reason, I do like it for higher volumes just because Sims can store too much energy. They can get going left to right a little too much. This brings me back to a front to back ball shape. So I'll move a little bit more left. I'm not really tricking it yet. I wanna see what it can do. And I stuck big time. This does have the game breaker cover stock, the hybrid, 15.1, which isn't the most aggressive type of cover stock in the world. We're gonna go left a little bit more, try not to pull it as much. Nice, good shot, good shot. I think a ball like this, for me, like I brought up the mesmerize, hypnotize, bigger asyms, especially the solids. Left to right shapes are a little bit more difficult. I think with this type of bowling ball and the combat, after we compare the two, are gonna be my more left to right type of bowling balls. The drilling I did put on this is my typical symmetric drilling with my pin in the ring finger. That gives me about a 4 3/4 pin to pat, but I did get the mass bias out a little bit further at about a 40. What that will do is increase intermediate diff and make the ball flare a little bit more. One, making a little bit more front to back, gives me the ability to create a smoother ball motion versus where if I kept it in, it'll get a little longer, a little bit flippier. Which, after I throw that, you guys are gonna understand why I don't want that, because I already have that ball. All right, move left a little bit more. Yeah, it recovers quite well, and it does hold the pocket off pretty well. I think in a lot of symmetrics, you might see a little bit more continuation, but that one, pretty solid. I've got pretty far left. I don't have to illustrate that too much, but I'm curious on where this ball is most comfortable, at least on this given pattern. So we're gonna go back right, and this is where I'm gonna start tricking the ball, increasing rev rate, changing speed, hand position, stuff like that to make the ball work. But what this is also gonna show me is what the ball likes to do and what the ball doesn't like to do. So whenever you do get a new bowling ball, it's great to go to your house shot, stand left or right or wherever you normally stand, but to get a true test of a bowling ball, one sport shot, without a doubt, harder shot. But if you're just on a house shot, play around the lane. See what works, see what doesn't, see what you can do with this ball as far as manipulation goes. Does it like it, does it not? And see where that ball fits into your arsenal that way. How versatile is it, basically? So let's move back to about second arrow. First arrow, I think, for me, I really have to do some stuff. Actually, you know what? Screw it. We're gonna go first arrow. I'm gonna really trick it. Get the hand rolled over. All right, I tried to get my thumb rolled over like a tweener a little bit. I still got it, but we're gonna move left a little bit more. All right, gotta throw a little harder, maybe up the back of it, teensy bit more on that one. We'll go ahead and try that next shot. We're gonna go ahead and try that again. A little harder, a little more up the back. Better. All right, we'll keep moving left a little bit. We're gonna probably go 2 or 3 more shots, then we'll get into the section of this video about more of the comparison. Again, the reason I wanted to do that today, to do the comparison, was one, we hadn't had the time to film the combat, unfortunately, but I did want to illustrate a little bit different type of review where we compare some bowling balls to give you guys a better idea how relative that ball is. Like, is it skid snappy, but how skid snappy is it? Like, everyone has their own definition of that. So I wanted to give you guys something to bounce ideas off of, something to correlate the one versus something else, which in this case is gonna be combat. We're gonna move left a little bit. We're gonna keep the same hand position and everything. I 4 pins, so traditionally we're gonna move left. Oh, and I pulled it so bad. Try to do that again. This is the first time I've bowled since our trios event. If you guys haven't watched it yet, me, my girlfriend, and Ace behind the camera, we bowled really well until we didn't. But if you guys want to check that video out, I definitely appreciate it. It was a fun video to shoot. All right. Oh, I sent it freaking right. Oh, that was a bad shot. If you guys can tell, I haven't bowled in a while, because I can tell. Thank God I don't have to shoot a spare in a ball review video. So for me right now, this is a tournament and I feel the way I feel. I wouldn't try to trick it as much as I am. So we're gonna move a little bit more left so I don't have to. And we just wanna get into about third arrow. Give it some angle. Better, definitely had more of that flat 10. Ball ran out of some energy when it hit the pocket. So bigger angles, maybe. I definitely have to get a little bit more axis rotation on it to make sure that ball finishes. But for the hand position and everything, I'm about maxed out where I can be. I don't have a ton of hold. I wouldn't expect me to have a lot of hold on a house shot with this type of bowling ball. RG is pretty low at a 2.49, I believe, 2.50. It's right there, so still low. So the ball is not gonna wanna hold. It's gonna try to come off of its line quicker because of that low RG. I mean, there's a number of reasons, but that doesn't help. So I don't think I have a whole lot of room in the middle. So that means I wanna make sure I get it around 10 down lane. If I'm left of that, it might not be good. Better. I'm starting to feel like I'm getting an identity of this bowling ball. It is a little bit more left to right than I thought, which is okay. I mean, the I put on it is my left to right type of Asym. If I wanted a little bit more front to back, I would have done a longer pin to pap for myself, just to get the ball flaring more and rolling more forward. This one definitely generally wants to make more of a left to right shape, but not too much of a left to right shape, but we'll see. All right, we're gonna move left a little bit more. Go. Yeah, see, now in this particular pattern, there's not a lot of hold regardless, so I'm not generally surprised when I do pull it and it goes to the face. If you guys are longtime watchers of the channel, you guys are gonna understand that in my ball reviews, I miss. I don't put out products where I strike every time. Our reels, maybe, we might edit them that way, just keep them shorter, but I wanna give you guys authentic, human, and yeah, I'm definitely human right now. Can't strike save my life. Much better. Yeah, it definitely likes to create a little bit more shape. It's a fan of axis rotation. It seems like if I get up the back of it too much, the ball is gonna want to try to roll a little too early and come off the spot a little too flat, big Asym. It does make sense. All right, let's throw one or two more, and then I'm gonna go with the comparison to the Combat. Oh my God, I keep pulling it. So it strikes from either pocket. That's cool. All right, we'll try to throw one more good shot. Nice. Okay, why did I want to compare the two? They're both bigger asymmetric bowling balls. Yes, the one does have a little bit higher diff and has a higher intermediate diff, making it flare a little bit more, a little bit lower, but they still fit the same realm as big asymmetric. Big difference between the two, Pearl versus Hybrid. The Ovation is a hybrid, the Combat is a Pearl. Now, the reason I chose these bowling balls to complement each other was when I threw the Combat first, and I was trying to go for a longer, flippier type reaction, which I definitely got. However, I didn't feel like I had anything to complement. I had like my Mesmerize and a couple other asymmetrics I have, but nothing was as quick as this ball. Everything was generally pretty slow. So I wanted to use the Ovation as a ball to split that gap, where it's gonna feel like I have a little bit more left to right type of Mesmerize, a little bit cleaner. I can get left a little bit more when the pattern does break down, but it's still generally higher volume. With the Combat, I felt like going from like a Mesmerize to Combat was pretty different. Like you're going from a really smooth solid with a 6-inch pin to pap that flares a ton, that really plays very good front to back, but not very well left to right. Then you switch to the Combat, which by core numbers, relatively similar, a little lower intermediate diff, but it was just too quick. So I needed something to fall in between that. So that's why I drilled the Ovation the way I did. Now, usually on my Asyms, I do at least a 5-inch pin to pap, because anything lower typically makes the ball pretty left to right. I usually have to tweak it a little bit more in order to get that comfortable front to back shape. So I wanted to create a ball that did provide a little more left to right. So that's why I did put this on it, which again was a 50 by 4 3/4 by 40. This one, on the other hand, the Combat. Now this one has a pearl cover stock. It's also extremely pretty. This one I did a very, very tall pinup. Now for me, this is like a 30 val, maybe a 20 val. So my pinups don't go as high as some other people's, just based on my ball roll, but this is quite a tall pin. Now, when you go up with the pin, typically that makes the ball a little bit quicker to respond whenever it does see friction. Now, I did get the mass bias out just a little bit. This is a 50 as far as my drill angle goes. That way it's not so long, so clean. I didn't expect this ball to be as clean as it is. I have thrown it already, but I'm glad I did that. If I kept it in, I feel like it really would have went down lane and flipped very hard. So we're gonna throw some shots, get comfortable with this. And like I said, I just wanna see the comparisons between the two, because I'm hoping in my brain that they're gonna complement each other well. So this one, we're gonna do the typical stuff, play up. We're not gonna worry about 5, we're gonna go up 10. Okay. Yeah, definitely a longer shape, gets down lane, stays on your launch line a lot longer, and does respond a little bit quicker. So you're guys gonna see that more here on the next couple shots, especially when I get left. Yeah, a little flat 10. Up on the head pin a little bit. So I feel like with the Ovation, that would have been earlier. It would have set up better. It's still a fresh shot. I mean, I've thrown 15, 20 shots on it, so it's still fresh, of course. All right. All right, provide me a little bit more hold in. Yeah, this ball is definitely gonna be more of that left to right type of shape. Nice. Yeah, definitely a much quicker response. Still an asym. It's not gonna continue going left as much. Wants to roll more forward. So this is definitely gonna be the time where I need to get left. I need the ball to respond quickly off friction. However, I don't need it to take off. You know, maybe if it is wet dry, that cliff, you can throw a ball like this if you get it in, has a big enough core to actually make it back to the pocket. But if you get it right, it's not going to just spool all of its energy up and just huck itself going left and continue going left. Whereas an asym, blend that pattern out a little bit more, blend that friction out, and it will still jump off of it, but it won't just keep going left. It will hopefully have a higher chance of pulling the pocket off. All right, we'll move left a little bit more. Nice. Yeah, so it's still a big ball. Like, it still needs friction. That's the thing people sometimes struggle with is, oh, I have a pearl. Means I can throw it on dry. Not necessarily. A lot of it has to do with the core. This core still requires heavy volumes. It just will be a cleaner shape than something like the Ovation or a Mesmerize or a Hypnotize, or if you're a Storm guy, an Ion Solid, an Origin, EX, something like that. Ion Max, I should say. All right, so that struck pretty well from there. 2 shots, look great. We're gonna go ahead and throw this ball and see how it compares. I would have to guess, I still should find the pocket, but it should be a smoother shape to get there. Yeah, definitely more of a smoother shape to get there. I like that. I mean, I'm a smooth guy. I'd rather have over control than under control. I'd rather leave a flat 10 than a 210 and a 710. So I do like that quite a bit, but I do feel more comfortable getting left with this thing, at least at the moment. There's a lot of volume in that middle part of the lane where these balls should be right at home. So let's go ahead and throw that same shot again, give you guys a comparison. Go. Nice. I don't think the Ovation would have held there. I think it would have tried to roll up, try to roll a little too early before the pocket, and it would have went high flush at least. Still a house shot, guys. Still a house shot. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try to get it in a little bit more. I didn't get it in. Yeah, you can definitely see that ball burn a little bit more energy up. Still hit great. Like, don't get me wrong, it's playable. Like, you could tweak something to make it work. So the difference between these balls isn't a lot, guys. Like, it doesn't take a whole lot to have that, especially if you have 6-9 ball arsenal. Like, you can only get so much variation in your bag, so you're gonna get balls that are somewhat close, but when they're needed, they're needed. So we're gonna go ahead and try to keep this one in, like I said before. My old body can do it. I got it in, but I ripped on it. I got it in, but I got a lot of it. So yeah, I just don't feel as comfortable with that ball holding the pocket like the Combat does. We're gonna go move left a little bit more, and then we'll end it on a little bit of a montage. Go. Yeah, definitely hold the pocket a little bit more. At least keep it on the same line, getting further down lane than the Ovation. Oh my Lord. That was not a good shot. I was all in my head. I was like, all right, start the ball here. It's good placement here. That's not a good, that's no good shot. That's not the thing you want to be thinking about. It's like the definition of my golf game. Yeah, I need some practice, that's for sure. I've missed my mark 2 times in a row. It's not a lot, but don't get me wrong, it's bad. Probably throw a good shot. I'm too deep, but that's okay. That's much better. Nice. Yeah, definitely quick response. So we're gonna throw this one, see how it goes, and we'll throw a little montage in there. Yeah, definitely a little bit slow over shape. I had to get around it a little bit more, but it looked pretty good. It looked pretty good. So yeah, we're just gonna throw some shots throughout the lane, 5, 6, see what the ball does. If you are curious of picking up the One Ovation, this ball does come out in mid-September. We should be releasing this video on the 9th, so it should be coming out about the 23rd. That's not a great shot. Oh my God, I need to get in the lab. We're gonna move back to where I feel more comfortable with this ball. A little bit smoother shape. Maybe a little too far right. I'm struggling with this today. I'm still in the golf mode. All right, ball shape, ball shape, ball shape, ball shape. Much better. I'm so concentrated on before the approach right now that I completely forgot about ball shape for 3 or 4 shots. Yeah, better. All right, that was a review of the brand new The One Ovation by Ebonite. This ball does come out in mid-September, so if you guys are curious about getting one, hop over to your local pro shop, go online, go ahead and pick one up. For me personally, heavy volume, medium response. It's the way I categorize all my bowling balls. So definitely more of that heavy volume, a little bit medium response. You got quick, you got slow. More of that medium, slow area. If you put surface on it, definitely gonna lower the speed as far as the transition goes. If you wanna polish it up a little bit more, it should make it a little bit quicker. Now, if you guys like the other, there's no reason why you wouldn't like this one. I think it is put together quite well, has a great cover stock from the GB 15.1 Hybrid, which isn't the craziest aggressive cover stock in the world, which is great for this type of bowling ball. It's not, it already has a strong core, and there's bowling balls out there that are already strong cover, strong core. So this one gives you a little bit more of an intermediate core or cover with a strong core. So if you guys are curious about picking one up, go do some research, watch my ball review, get an idea on if it fits your bag, and then go ahead and pick one up. So that was the video comparing it to the Combat. Now the Combat's already out. Now if you already have one, let me know what you think of it. If you don't get one or don't have one and you're curious about getting one, leave it in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. See if it's something that maybe I can help out with or our fellow community can help out with. So with that said, my name is Jason Robarge. We're Rev It Up Bowling. Much love, peace.